Okay, a very good evening to all of you. So we are here for the second day where, till now we have tried to set up the environment on our machines where we try to uh, set up the Python, and then we try to set up Eclipse. Along with that, we try to install the PyDev plugin, right? So we understood what is the importance of workspace. So once we open it, we see a PyDev perspective. So PyDev perspective is nothing but an environment to write the Python code. So this was the small program that we wrote in Python when we were actually setting up the environment. Now we will start few more things to understand as per the course content, right? How to work with different variable types, okay, and then conditional programming and loop programming. So So these are the topics which we are expecting to cover in near future. How much we can cover today is up to how much you can catch things today. Okay. So so let me move ahead. So if at all you anyone has any doubts here, please continue. Please unmute yourself and you can let me know, or else you can type in your queries. I can pause myself at any point of time. Okay, so now the different types of variables, right? Now, see, we started with simple prints like this. Now, what if I have to get something like this? So, message equals to new variable, right? It is just a message that. So, what did I do? I typed a string message and I actually uh, printed that message. I actually took it in a variable. And the best part is I didn't mention any type of variable before that. If you have worked in Java or C++ before or C sharp, any language, there is a requirement that you might have. There is a requirement that it's not might, it is compulsory that you have to mention the type of a variable. Whether this variable that you are going to create will be a string type of variable or an integer or boolean or whatever, right? But here you don't have any such requirement. During the compile time itself, while writing the program, the Python interpreter figures out what kind of variable this can be. Okay, so now if you see, I will print this message. Say the new okay, let me change this. This doesn't make sense. Okay, and if I say the new variable value is plus message. Okay, so this is the thing. Now new variable value is plus message. So this is how you append a string to a string, right? So this is a string type, right? Already, and I'm just appending this value so that what value you will see. Any guesses? Quickly, Lakshmi.
New variable is hello. New variable is hello world.
Perfect. So if I run this for you, yeah. So the new variable value is hello world, right? So we saw that this is the variable that took actually a string value and I tried to append it This is nothing but it's appending, right? Is this clear?
Okay.
Now, if you say that, okay, what if I have to see what type of message is this? So at runtime, you can figure out what type of variable you have created. Okay, so you can say the type of variable is this. Okay, so this is okay. What happens is the type message that comes up, right? It is not of types. This variable that gets returned, it is not of type string. So we need to convert it to string so that it will print what type of variable it is. So this is how you convert any variables into string if it is having a list of characters in it. Okay, do you see this? The type of variable is type str. So what happened is this type str, which was returned by this function, okay, was not actually a string type of variable. That's why it was saying that this this particular string which you're seeing, which is already of type string, it cannot be appended with a non no, it cannot be appended with a value which is of not string type. That's why I converted it to string, and that is the reason it got assigned and it actually could print this value. Are you getting this?
I have a question. So here already in the message we have stored the value hello world. It's a string, right?
Yes.
Then in the first statement, like we got it. What's the difference between first
Yeah.
statement and second statement?
Do you see this here? When I hover a
Yeah.
mouse here, what is
Mm-hmm.
this? It is saying str. It is already of type string.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And this str type is getting appended to this string which is already of str type.
Yes.
Now, this is of type str, but what is
Mm-hmm.
this type? It was of type a type message. It was not of
Mm-hmm.
type str. Now,
Mm-hmm.
whatever is returned by this, I converted it into str.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, got it.
now this
Mm-hmm.
str is getting appended with str. So
Okay.
similarly, in your program, you might face a challenge where when you are creating a string values or whatever, it might be a case that sometimes you might face such issues. Okay, to avoid such things where you want to create a string from the variables. Okay, I'm repeating myself. When you have a challenge that you have to create a string from a variable value, then there is a better way to work with it. That is print new variable value is percent %s. So percent %s means whichever variable we are going to give, it will automatically convert it into a string and print it. Okay, but now the question is which variable I will be replacing in place of percent %s. The same question should come to you as well. Do you get that question in your mind?
Is it so we need to replace with message?
Perfect. Now, how will you tell that in Python? You have to give a percent sign outside the variable, outside the string, and just give the variable name which should be printed, right? I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
write plus sign here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Question again. So, what is the use of that percentage S?
Okay. So percent s. So what Python interpreter understands is whichever variable value you have mentioned outside the uh, double quotes, it will first replace its variable value with this percentage s here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, now I will tell you one more advantage. Let me run this for you first,
Mm-hmm.
right? So again, I see that what happened is so you will find the difference in syntax here. So this is the one syntax which was actually appended. So I continued my variable message after this string. Here also I did the same thing, but here I mentioned it in a different way. So tomorrow, if I place this percentage s anywhere in between the string or at the start of the string, this message will get replaced with its value at the place where I place this percentage s in this particular whole string scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So now if you say, what if I say print the new value percent s looks good for me, right? So how will you still make sure that your value gets replaced here? It is again this way only. So there is,
Mm-hmm.
so now if I run this, now if I would have asked you to create such string for me, new value hello world looks good for me, what you would have done is you would have done new value plus message plus looks good for me, right? So how many times?
Yeah.
So so like the order of the string is controlled by you. Uh, this is the order that remains fixed wherever you want to use this variable. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
you have a liberty when you are working with such variables. Okay, and if you use percent %s, it will take the first variable value that you have mentioned here outside the string.
Okay. Okay.
Did you get the difference?
Yes.
Any doubts?
No.
Again, I repeat from top. Message is
Mm-hmm.
the variable I took, which is a string type because I mentioned a string to it. Okay. Next is the new variable value is I appended it. There is a difference between a word that I'm using, appending and inserting. Okay. So I'm appending means I'm just extending this string with the value that is available in message variable. Okay, and I just tried to show you how to get the type of the variable that you are trying to print. So you see that this is how Python returns the type. Next is new variable value is this. So here I use the same variable. Instead of saying I appended a message, I just said I used a variable. So you can say using a variable value in string creation. Does this sentence make sense?
Okay.
right? Any confusion?
No.
So wherever I will be using percentage, it will be replaced with whatever variable I mention it.
Mm-hmm.
But make sure you're using percent sign and not plus sign this time.
Okay.
So what will happen if I mention plus sign?
Mm-hmm.
So it took percentage as a string value. It's as good
Oh,
as I
okay.
wrote a string. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the Python interpreter didn't understand what percentage is. Okay. Just because I didn't mention percent.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you should be careful. But ideally, once you get expertise in Python and start writing your scripting, mostly this is how every programmer will try to work with for creating method.
Okay. Okay. So if I have defined two variables, so how can I write that?
Perfect. Very good. So I was coming to that now. So now if you have a new variable, say val equals to 50. This is of type
Mm-hmm.
what? I'm asking you.
Int.
Integer. Okay. So the val variable is of type. You can convert while printing, you can do percentage for any variable. It will convert it into a string for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that from this line and for the next line, the val will become a string value. No, it will always remain a numerical value. Okay. So I will say, so what is this? Val variable is of type int,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because this is an integer type variable that I created. And if I have to append two strings, then I'll say print the message is %s and the value is %s. And now if I have to take two variable values in a single string, I will again give %sign to Python interpreter saying that the %s sign which I've mentioned anywhere, I want to print it in a order. So whichever variable types you are mentioning in this bracket will take will replace those percentage s values in the order in which you mention it in this bracket. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So what do you say?
Yes.
What in which order I should mention? It should be a comma separated variable names.
Maybe message comma.
Perfect.
Now I think we need to give from string type of value
No.
or just value.
Yeah. This is fine.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So the message is hello world and value is 50. So we try to
Mm-hmm.
print two things, that is two variables in a single message, right? And we also have a liberty how to design a particular string message derived from the variables that we create,
Mm-hmm.
right? But in case of plus sign that we are using, we don't have a liberty to design the string format, right?
Okay.
Whatever we write, we might have to keep it the variable message then there only where you want to replace it, right? As you
Mm-hmm.
saw here, if I had to create similar message as what I did here, I had to write this way.
Mm-hmm.
But what if someone says, no, print your message somewhere at the end? Again, you might have to change this to something else. But what if just I use percentage %s and just put it at the end so that the requirement is fulfilled,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it is always good to use this way to print the messages.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So now coming to few basic operations like so printing the messages is always a challenge to understand for initially for any programmer to start his career with.
Mm-hmm.
And now if I say print the addition of numbers is %s. So if I say here, what would be if I say val plus 5, and if I run this, so this is how you see the number.
Mm-hmm.
So at runtime also you can figure out that you want to print something by computing certain value. Then this is how you get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We no need to define the value 5.
No, it's just I took it randomly.
Okay.
In your program, there might be a reason where you might have a variable value which you might have to append it to an existing value. So you can use that variable. What's
Mm-hmm.
the deal? So suppose this is val2 and I say 5. So instead of 5, I will say maybe val2. That, that's it,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is all about how to deal with the variables and how to work with it. Okay. So there are different types of data types, and a few of them are, but I don't want to mention right now because we are coming to that. Before that, I want to first make you aware of different types of conditional programming. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Okay. So let's start. I'm creating a new file for you now. This is loop programming, and I start with. So what is loop programming? Sorry, not loop, sorry. I wanted to start with conditional. I'm extremely sorry. Here is the rename. Yeah. Okay. So now, so what is conditional programming is we see that. So from the context itself, you can figure out that we are going to put certain conditions while executing our tests. Okay. So why these concepts are important to learn first is because there might be a stage where you might have to execute certain uh, computations or logic according to your requirement, according to the conditions that meet up, right? So for that reason, we will start understanding how to write conditions. So now if I say, let's take an example that I create a age as 25. Okay. So the scenario would be is to issue license. I mean to say to issue driving license based on age. Is this scenario clear for you?
Yes.
So according to you, what is the ideal condition? Okay. So as I was saying, are you clear with the scenario? What is your understanding about if a person should be issued with the driving license or not?
If the age is greater than or equal to 25, like we need to issue. If it's less than that,
No, but
uh,
what is your understanding in real world? How much is the age that is required?
I think here in Canada it's 18.
Okay. Everywhere it's 18 mostly.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So I just defined a variable. Okay. And I will
Mm-hmm.
say uh, the candidate name is John, maybe. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So John, whose age is 25, okay, I want to see
Mm-hmm.
if he is eligible for license or not. Okay. So how will I say if age is greater than 18 colon the next line. Now here onwards you have to be very careful about indentations. Okay. So if
Mm-hmm.
at all you are writing anything under any loop or anything, you have to take care that it is indented properly. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
I will say print. Can you help me with writing a message which should print saying John is eligible for license? How will I write?
Okay, sure. Um, yeah, percentage yes
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
eligible for driving license or something.
Good.
Outside,
Hmm.
outside percentage candidate underscore name.
Perfect. Right. So now,
Mm-hmm.
so if I run this now, do you think the message will get printed?
Wow, I think so. Can you show me? Can you show me? Yes.
Are you sure?
No, we should not have space, I think.
Don't worry about space or anything. Go with the logic what we have written.
John is eligible for license. Percentage candidate.
I'm saying that
Yes.
this condition will return as true or not.
Oh, we need to check the age also, right?
So that is the main thing about the loop, right? So age is what? First we defined at the program that it is 25, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'm checking if 25 is greater than 18. If it
Okay.
evaluates to true, then it goes inside. This loop starts executing if and only if this condition, that is this expression, gets evaluated to true. So don't you think 25 is greater than 18? अरे किती बॅकअप दिला त्यांनी? Sorry, actually, my UPS actually had gone out of power, but fortunately, the power is back.
Yeah, okay, okay, no problem.
Some I will take next time that there won't be any interruption in between. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So continuing with this thing, let me confirm if I started the. Yeah. Okay. So now if you see what I did is this one, and I will try to run this. So John is eligible for license, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how did
Mm-hmm.
this happen is we took age as 25. The candidate name is what we assign. See,
Mm-hmm.
if is the condition that we put. Now, if understands the expression, okay? So if age is greater than 18,
Mm-hmm.
then only go inside this loop, okay? So,
Okay.
so that's why I printed this. So whatever logic you want to do, you can always do it anyways inside this,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So you can do multiple operations. Print maybe congrats John for being eligible for license. So multiple lines you can do under the same if loop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Now next is what if you say that if he is not eligible, then you want to print something.
Okay.
Else if you should be saying print sorry. Okay. Congrats percentage I should be saying. Okay. Sorry percent S is not eligible for license. Okay. So what did I do? Here was my if loop. That was the only thing which I explained here. What if I have to
Mm-hmm.
put some other conditions up? Condition as in what if and else, right? So if is the loop. If it doesn't get satisfied with condition that is mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
else you print or do whatever you want to do for whatever condition is not met, right?
Okay.
This was my condition. It didn't evaluate to true for the reason, for some reason maybe. Okay, so I will show you that. So here during the execution, I say my age is 17 now. So what happens is here 17 greater than 18, this will evaluate to false.
Mm-hmm.
It was true in this case. So true. So based on the expression that gets evaluated, whether it is true or false, based on that, this if loop will get decided whether to get executed or not.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, but you have defined age twice, right? So which one it will take?
So
First one
during
or
the
second one?
yeah, so the program starts from the top. Okay, it
Mm-hmm.
executes from the top, and once it comes back, and if you see that the age variable that I've defined again, so it will overwrite the value that was already defined in the program.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you see now this time the age value is 17, and it sees that if 17 is greater than 18, do you think this will evaluate as true or false?
False.
False. So if this is false, then it will go in else loop,
Mm-hmm.
and it will say whatever you have asked it to do.
Okay.
So, sorry, John is not eligible for license.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Does it
Yeah.
make sense?
Yes.
Now, this is about if else loop. Okay? What if I say that the license should be given to, okay, I say that a license will be given to, this text might appear you a bit faded, but this is how it is. In Eclipse, it appears a bit faded because this is how I write my comments, okay, in my code.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So license will be given to the person having age between 18 and 55, right? People who are old age beyond 55, they should not drive is what we are seeing according to our rules. Okay, it's not a rule everywhere, but I'm saying we want to learn certain programming. For that, I have this condition. Okay, if a person is of age 55 now, suppose he is of age 56. Okay, if a person is of age 56, according to this loop, he will be eligible for license, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if his age is 90, okay, the person still becomes eligible for license, right?
Yes.
But I don't want my uh, my system to allow such people who can't even stand on their legs at this age.
Mm-hmm.
They are weak enough, right, to
Yes.
take such things. So
Mm-hmm.
in that case, I will say if I will use again this loop,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and if age is greater than, now the percentage is eligible for license at age percent s, right? So I will say what is the age is what it will print, right? So if I run this program, he will say John is eligible for license at age 90, which is not correct.
Mm-hmm.
Now, instead of me using else, okay, I will try to see if I can use something nested. I will nest my if else loop by saying else if age is less than or equal to 55. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
then still you should be saying percent uh, okay, you should be still saying this one. Sorry, print, sorry, percent is not eligible for license, is too old for eligibility for license. Does this message make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, where I put if else, there should come a there should come a message with else as well. Okay. And anyways, I put the condition there. But still, if the age is 17, then how will I handle that in this case, right? So I will say print this one, what it was already. So if a person is lesser than 18, then this loop will get executed. If a person is, uh, I mean to say, the if else loops are something where you can have multiple conditions.
But I have a question. So we are giving license to a person of age greater than 18 and less than 55, right?
Correct. Now you are finding the loopholes in this program as well. No, no,
Yeah,
that's
that.
perfect. That is
Yeah.
perfectly. Yeah, I'm happy that you are understanding how illogical things are happening,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
right? So you might say that, okay, let me try this way now.
Okay, sure.
So John is eligible for license is what is happening. Okay, okay. So you will say that let me put this condition first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If the age is less than 55 and age is greater than 18,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what is
Mm-hmm.
happening now if I run this? Sorry, John. Okay, this is not the message. Sorry, John is too old for eligibility of license.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what happened is this condition this condition didn't get executed. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's why it went in this loop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, age is else if age is greater than 18, but the thing is it is too big, but the message is not making sense, but I'm just showing you else if loop. Okay,
Ah, okay, sure.
okay, so, or else this message will get printed, but somewhere I would like you to just understand that this is the multiple conditions that you can put if else loop,
Mm.
you know
Okay.
but
Okay.
if you want to write in a more logical sense the same thing, we can use multiple conditions. Okay, how can we do that?
Can't we put in one statement?
Yes,
Like
that
if,
is what I'm trying to show you now.
okay.
If age is greater than 18 and age is lesser than 55, then you say this, right? Else, else you can again say that if you want your message statements to be more precise, right? Then you can say if age is greater than 55, inside else loop you can say print this one, sorry, else. See, now I'm just helping you to understand this loop now. Okay, what is if the age is 90 now? Okay, because still we haven't redefined this value. So what will happen if age is greater than 18? Yes, it is greater than 18. So this is true, right?
Mm-hmm.
True. And is this lesser than 55? No. Age. Still it is 90, right? So
Yeah.
90 is greater than 18 and 90 is not less than 55. So what is
Mm-hmm.
this? This is a true value and this is a false value.
Yes.
So now in your academics you might have learned how the Boolean operators work,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
right? So how
Mm-hmm.
does the Boolean operations, right, work? Now you have to help me. True
So it will be
and true is what?
true.
True. True and false is
False.
false and false is
False.
false, right? So now,
Mm-hmm.
so you understand, right? T
Mm-hmm.
and T. Here and is nothing but the same thing that you're seeing here. The only thing is to the left side of it, if the expression is evaluating say true, then it will be true, and to the right if it is evaluating to true, then it is true. And then
Mm-hmm.
it says the whole thing that is mentioned in the bracket is true,
Mm-hmm.
right? The result what you see here.
Yeah.
So now what do you see is the age is 90, but the thing is just because true and false is evaluating to false, now it will go in else loop. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
inside the else loop, now I know that a person is not eligible for the license. I could have simply printed saying sorry, the person is not eligible for license, but I want my program to print the message in a more correct or more meaningful way.
Mm-hmm.
Are you catching me?
Yes.
Okay, so so now what did I say? If a age now, okay, so this else loop is only for those candidates who are not eligible for license. Now
Mm-hmm.
I want to make message more precise in this loop, so I mentioned if age is greater than 55, sorry, the sorry, John is too old for the eligibility of license, else what you want to print here. This is all about printing the messages, you know. sorry, percent S is too young for the license. Make sense?
Yeah.
So, what do you think will be printed with the help of this loop? If I take age as 90.
Okay, so if we take age as 90, first if condition is not satisfied,
Hmm.
so it will go to next condition.
Hmm.
So if age is greater than 55, so it
Hmm.
will print sorry, John is too old for eligible for license.
Awesome. See, sorry, John is too old for eligibility for the license. What if I say age is equal to 35? You tell
So
me.
it will print the first condition, like first print. John is eligible for license at age 35, and
Yes.
congrats, John.
Right? So you are getting the loop, right?
Yeah.
So now what all things I showed you is first is simple if loop. You can execute this way without else loop.
Mm-hmm.
Next is if you want to be more precise about exceptions, then you can do a
Mm-hmm.
else loop where you can do whatever things you want to do if the if loop has not evaluated to true.
Mm.
Next is I showed you the nested if loop, if else loop. You know, if
Mm-hmm.
there are multiple conditions which you want to first check, then or else we can say that this way. If age is 18, then
Mm-hmm.
I can say the person S is eligible for discount. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so why a system is giving you discount because you have got the awareness that at an early stage of 18 years you should issue a license rather than you driving the vehicle without a license.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense, right? So in this
Yeah.
case, uh, you know, even if your age is 90 and
Mm-hmm.
even if this is not satisfied, you know, but it will check if the age is 18. If you go for issuing a license at age of 35, then also you will not get a discount, but you will be just eligible for the license. Okay, if I would have made this as 35, he would have been satisfied only this condition.
Yeah.
Okay, now coming back to this is the main logic, right? What we implemented.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and is the key thing that decides whether to execute this loop or not based on what expression is getting evaluated.
Okay. So this is, can we call this nested loop too?
Yes,
What's the difference
yes,
between third and fourth? Okay.
it's about just the way to use syntax. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so with this if loop, if the condition is not met, it will hop to this loop,
Mm-hmm.
and this loop will also get executed if and only if this condition is met, else it will jump to this. But
Okay.
here you cannot to jump this loop unless you jump to this loop.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now here I mentioned 35, it met the condition. What if I say 85? So it will print he is too old for eligibility of license. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If I mention 15, it will say he is too young for the license.
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, do you
Yeah.
say that this program is making sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if I ask you that instead of using and, I want you to use or loop,
Mm-hmm.
but it should have the same logic. So, what are changes you might have done? I want to hear from you now. So, I'm
Or.
copying this. Yeah, I want to
Mm-hmm.
use or. Now, you know how Boolean operators work for or?
Yeah.
Similarly, if this is the thing, what is it for T or T?
True.
What is it for T or F?
True.
Awesome. What is it for F or F?
True. False, I think. False. Yeah.
So, are you enjoying going back to your academic days? So, I'm asking you this to use instead of and as or.
Mm-hmm.
So now, what all changes I might have to do for this program to make sense with our scenario by using or as the condition?
If age is greater than 18 or less than or equal to.
Okay,
Mm,
see, now the thing is, if age is greater than 18, this will
mm-hmm.
become true.
Yeah.
If age is less than 55, it will become true.
Yes.
So true or true becomes true.
Mm-hmm.
If I say age 35,
Mm-hmm.
that if I say age is 35, it will become true. Okay.
Yes.
Now here also it will become true. What if I say now the age is 15, right? I didn't change the age anywhere. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's false.
So false. So false is here, but it is true here.
It's true. Yeah.
So in either of the case, if it is true, then he becomes eligible for license,
Yes. Yeah.
which is not correct.
Yeah.
So what you should be doing? Any guess?
Mm, no idea.
Oh my God. Are you exhausted for the day today?
Uh, mm,
Give,
age
give,
is
give
greater
try, give
than.
try. Don't give up.
Okay.
What?
Age
Okay,
is
what
greater.
is the condition that will give me that, a false? Understand that, okay, I have to see that if this condition and if this condition, in what condition it might become false.
First one is
If age is less
false.
than 18 and
Mm,
or age is greater than 55.
yeah, correct.
So are they eligible for license?
If age is less than 18 or age is greater than 55. Less than age is less than 18. Yeah, they should not be eligible.
Perfect. So that I will put this loop there now.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense? And
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm.
this. See the difference now.
Mm-hmm.
Now age is 15. If age is less than 18 or age is greater than 55, I see that age is less than 18. So this is
Mm-hmm.
true or this is false. So true
Yeah.
or false evaluates to true,
Mm-hmm.
and this evaluates that I want to go inside this loop now, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And here I will use the same condition. If age is greater than 55, I will say he is too old or he is too bad. So
Okay.
so I will print here And if you want to print it on the new line after it, you can use /n. Okay.
Okay.
So if I run this, the license eligibility based on and condition
Mm-hmm.
is this. Sorry, the John is too young for license. And again, based on the or condition, I am printing this.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense, right? For you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I replace somewhere in between and if I use this as 35, so in both the cases here, right, the license eligibility based on or condition is what? John is eligible for this and congrats to him. And based on this as well, that is the and
Mm.
condition, that is the license eligibility on and condition is the same thing. So again he is eligible. So
Mm-hmm.
we used and as well as or conditions and accordingly the conditions as well. Here it was age
Mm.
greater than 18 and age 55. We wanted both of these criteria to be met, then only the person is eligible for license, right?
Yeah.
But if we wanted or loop, then we would say that if he is less than 18 or he is greater than 55, he should not be eligible for license. It is,
Mm-hmm.
see, when we are speaking in English, right? This is how we speak, right? That if he
Yeah.
is meeting both conditions, then only he should be eligible. So is
Mm-hmm.
how the uh, statements that you see they are written in even the programming language.
Mm-hmm.
Any confusion so far?
No, it's okay. It's good.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so we'll pause for another 5 minutes, maybe two
Okay.
minutes,
Sure.
and we'll be back. Okay.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Thanks.
Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can note them down. We can discuss.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So any doubts so far? Anything that you feel like things are not covered? Because according to this, we try to understand different conditional way to handle the program.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so anything, any suggestions here that anything that should go correctly here, or if everything is good, we can move ahead.
Yeah. It's fine.
It's fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, so this was all about showing how to use if-else loops and put conditions in your program and how to
Mm-hmm.
execute them,
Mm-hmm.
right? So uh, now we are already left with 10-15 minutes. So maybe I will show you how to execute in a debugging mode, and from tomorrow we will see how to execute the loop program.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Are you are you getting my point totally right
Yeah.
now?
Yes.
Okay. So now, what is debugging? What do you understand by debugging?
Debugging means like it will let you know how where the actual problem is. Like it will help us in knowing the issue is where the issue is.
Yes. And what does debug means? It is actually giving you understanding how the flow of the program happens.
Mm-hmm.
Whether, see, if the program is not having error, then does the debugging make sense for you or not?
Mm, no idea.
See, correct. Whether the program is executing correctly or whether it is executing incorrectly or whether it is having errors is
Mm-hmm.
what debugging will always help you with. Okay,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
so debugging doesn't help you to just find the problems. debugging
Oh, okay.
Debugging just helps you to understand whether the flow of the step execution in your program happens. Okay, sorry, did I start? Yeah, I have started the recording. Yeah, so I was saying the debugging means it actually helps you to understand how the flow of the program is happening, and based on the flow of the program execution step by step, you have to figure out whether the logic that you are applying for the program is happening correctly or not.
Mm-hmm.
Right, there are two things. Again, I am repeating, you have to figure out the logic of the program. Along with that, you have to figure out if the programming is having any error.
Yeah.
Right, so
Mm-hmm.
your program might be having no errors, but the logic is not correct in the program. So that is the reason you might be getting incorrect output, right?
Oh, okay.
So in such scenarios, debugging is very important. Now, if I say I want to debug this program, okay? If I say I want to understand that, uh, let me create a new file, say debugging program. Okay, in this debugging program,
Mm-hmm.
what I will do, I will remove all these lines. Okay, and uh, I will keep up to this point. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now I want to, okay, sorry, the candidate. So candidate name is John. Now, if I want to debug this program in Eclipse, I will put a breakpoint at the point from where I want to execute things step by step. Before that breakpoint, all the executions will happen as if a program executes, but the execution gets paused, or you can say it runs in a debugging mode once the breakpoint is reached. Do you see this?
Mm-hmm.
The tooltip
Yeah.
that is reading PyDev breakpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Mm-hmm.
green point here indicates that I have put a breakpoint here. From this point, I want to execute step by step from here.
Okay.
I don't want directly the program to execute everything and close or terminate itself.
Mm-hmm.
So what I will do, I will right click here and say debug as Python run.
Okay.
Please see what we are doing. We are doing run as Python run, but now we will
Mm-hmm.
say debug as Python run.
Mm-hmm.
So now if I say run, what it did is it actually executed till from the start of the program. It took age equal to 35, and then it
Mm-hmm.
got paused at the point where I put the breakpoint, and now this message has come from Eclipse itself. It is saying that do you want to open a perspective such that you can open it in a debug. Do you see this line? This
Yeah.
debug perspective is designed to support application debugging. It
Mm-hmm.
incorporates views for displaying the debug stack, variables, and breakpoint management.
Mm-hmm.
So, at the top right corner, sorry, at the top right corner, if you see, we were in PyDev perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Now the perspective will change to debug perspective.
Mm-hmm.
right? So what are components you see that are critical while debugging? We want to see what are variable values we are assigning. Are they getting those values? And step by step, we are going to see the line which is highlighted will be executed once we move ahead. How do we move ahead? Here you is the option step over and step into.
Mm-hmm.
So we will see step over for now, and when we start learning functions or anything, we will see there how to do step over, step into. Step over is
Um,
what? Step over is what?
Pavan,
Yeah.
sorry, I lost it. So when we right click on that Python run, can you start from there?
Okay, I will do that. So again, let me stop the execution here.
Okay.
Now if I do debug run and I say debug as
Mm-hmm.
and then Python run. So I will say you remember my decision. It should always go to debug perspective.
Yes. Yeah.
Now what happened is the program executed up to this point. Now I see that there is a variable during the program execution which got 35 as the value,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now I will execute step by step. So
Okay.
the next step I go here is okay. So how do I do go to the next step? Using step over.
Okay.
So candidate name. Now I see that in the variable section, the new variable name which I got is having value John.
Uh-huh.
Already it was age 35, then candidate 30, candidate name John, and then I get moving further by clicking step over.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you're catching things.
Yes.
Now when the print statement printed, you see that the console output has started changing.
Mm-hmm.
So the things which you're seeing in a single go based on what executions happened, you were seeing it in the output window.
Mm-hmm.
But now with the now you are controlling the execution with your debugging skills, and that is how things are happening now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So now what do you think will happen here?
So it will give the age value in between that.
No, no. What I did you understood you what you are saying. So what do you think this expression will get evaluated to what?
True or false?
This expression.
So we will get the
What is the
value
age? What
35.
is the age 35?
Yeah.
So 35 is greater than 18 and 35
Yes.
is less than 55. So T and T will say T and then it will say it you go in this loop.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Does it go there? Yes, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
if statement understood it, it will now print John is eligible. It will come. Now it will go to the next state line.
Mm-hmm.
Here it will see the condition. It will say no, he is still eligible. Then it will go
Mm-hmm.
and the program completes.
Okay.
So you see the variable section also got blank
Yes. Yes.
because the program execution happens. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if I write something like uh, suppose now if you see there was no error and the logic is but we saw that our logic is working correctly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if there is no error but if the logic doesn't make sense
Mm-hmm.
and is suppose if I say, okay, I don't want to confuse you as of now too much. I just want to
Okay.
make sure you understood the significance of debugging and how to debug a program,
Mm-hmm.
right? Any questions?
No.
Okay. So I should understand that I either convinced you or didn't confuse you.
Yeah, so far it's good. I got it.
Okay. So again, I repeat how to debug.
Mm-hmm.
So how, okay, now you tell me. So this is a debug perspective I am right now in. So this is a perspective, no? When you say in Eclipse, I am in this perspective, I am in that perspective, they mean actually Java perspective or PyDev. We will see robot in future once we reach that stage in the training. But as of now, we should be aware of PyDev perspective, right? Where you get your files to work with and the program that you work with, and if you want to debug it, this is how the window comes in. So what perspective is nothing but it is collection of views that are useful at that point of time,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
That's it. Perspective means Eclipse, in Eclipse you're saying that you please open these windows for me and you save this as one perspective for me. So this is the debug perspective. I should see the
Okay.
program flow, I should be
Mm-hmm.
able to see the variables, I should see
Mm-hmm.
the breakpoints, what all they are there. I should be
Mm-hmm.
able to see as well the console output,
Oh, okay.
right? Because I am
Okay.
debugging the program. But if you are
Mm-hmm.
running it in a wider perspective, then you should run it in a single go and see the console output. Once
Mm-hmm.
you are convinced that the debugging is giving you the correct output,
Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
this is all about today. We are trying to understand conditional programming. I will come with the workshop. So I have this workshop ready anyways. So for the day
Okay.
two, I have written these things. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I will share this sheet with you. So tomorrow, if as and how time permits for you, you please come
Mm-hmm.
up with the solution for this.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. They are very
Okay.
simple. It's just a simple word program that I've written. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You have to just
Okay.
give a try. Don't think too much. Okay.
Okay.
If
Okay.
it is a too aptitude kind of thing, or if it is too much interview kind of thing, no. It's just that
Mm-hmm.
the things which I say straight away is what I have listed here, and you have to just
Mm-hmm.
use what all things you learned,
Okay. Sure.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe okay, sorry. Maybe you can skip this one because sorry, because some of the questions involve using for loop.
Mm-hmm.
So for so for that reason, uh, you know, you might not understand a couple of questions.
Okay. So first three.
Let me see. Correct.
Okay.
Do this only.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and let me.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Sure.
So any questions so far? Anything? Any doubts? Or else we can drop for today.
So far no. Maybe I will give it a try. I will focus on that. Working on that.
On what? On this itself.
On Yeah. On the assignment.
Okay. Yeah, and let me know. I'm always available on emails. You can drop me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sure.
So I believe you are finding this programming interesting, or else okay,
Yeah.
I will put more efforts to make it more interesting if you want.
Yeah. Sure. I want to. I am like I am always eager to learn programming.
Mhm. So if at
Yeah.
all you're following this, well and good, or else
Mm-hmm.
I might have to give more effort or more scenarios to make you understand the program.
Okay, maybe I will give a try on that assignment, then we will know like
Hmm.
whether I understood or not.
And another thing is, your focus is not to get expertise on this programming. You have to just
Mm-hmm.
understand the concepts which are part of this course, and you
Okay.
have to move further to understand Selenium, automation, and all those
Mm-hmm.
things, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Things are there.
Okay. Okay, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow, then same time.
Okay, sure. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Me that sheets.
Yes, I will share those sheets with you.
Okay. Okay, sure. Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
And you will find today's recording and in fact every other. So other day, first day's recording, were you able to see it?
No, I have not tried. I didn't get a chance to do that.
Can you please confirm the same thing on email once
Okay, sure.
that
Sure.
you are able, maybe by tomorrow morning I will share the
Mm.
sheet as well, but I'm
Mm.
already sharing the videos to you. So just confirm me if you are
Yeah.
able to access the videos, the sheets, and
Mm-hmm.
the files that I'm uploading every day. What all we learn, right? I'm just uploading them
Yeah.
at this location. So maybe in second
Okay,
batch I
sure.
will create the files, but this is the
Mm-hmm.
place where you will see the
Okay,
files,
sure.
what all we create. So please confirm me
Okay.
these three things, okay?
Okay, sure.
So that there should not be a gap of any files being not shared or any content being not shared.
Okay, sure, definitely. Yeah.
Okay? Okay.
Okay,
Thanks.
yeah.
Thanks for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Yeah, bye.